I was born in South Bend, Indiana, and in and out of foster care. My mother had been through a lot growing up, so she wasn't really capable of parenting the way that, she needed to parent. She took us, me and my two sisters, I think I was about like 7 at the time. She took us on a Greyhound to California to supposedly go stay with her high school friend in California. My mom's calling her like, hey, we're here, and she's not even answering the phone at this point. Come to find out, the lady was actually staying with somebody, so she wasn't even capable of housing us or anything. So at that time, we're homeless, and we stayed on the streets of Los Angeles downtown. We were there for a while, back and forth, jumping between shelter and shelter, and then we eventually started schools out there. My mother ended up reaching out to her dad, which is my grandfather or whatever, and she had made arrangements with him, unbeknownst to me, for him to come and get me. And at the time, he lived in Louisville, Kentucky. He ended up showing up the next day, sometime in the afternoon, to get me. And at that point, I'm like, oh my God, this just got real. So I ended up having to leave with him. And my mother reassured me that it was just for the summer vacation. And once school started back, we would have a new life, and I would be able to attend school. We would have a house, and just to kind of give me something to look forward to. So I ended up leaving with him, and we were driving to Louisville, Kentucky at that point. And he was a pervert, just put it that way. Before even 24 hours had passed of us driving, he was already trying to do what he does. He ended up getting a house, a huge house. It was like 5 bedrooms for me and him. I thought that was kind of strange, but hey, it was just for the summer. So I was just, hoping that the summer just went by fast. It usually does, but that time it didn't. His brother ended up moving in, who was just as big of a pervert as he was. He ended up showing me paperwork of where my mother had signed me over to him. So I felt like I was tricked or whatever. So at that point, I'm kind of freaking out. It was still like another week or so till school, a week and a couple days till school. So I was like, I knew that I had a sister. We were in Louisville, Kentucky. So I knew that I had a sister that was in South Bend, Indiana, my older sister that my mom had sent off. So I asked him if he would take me before I started school to go see my sister. I was able to hang with my sister, and then I told her what was going on. He had done things to us when we were small kids. When she heard what things that he was doing, she automatically believed me because of our history that we had with him. So she agreed to, maybe she can come with me. It's Bill and his brother. So 2 perverts, 2 teen girls. I felt bad and guilty because I had brought my sister into this, and now we're both going through it. He ended up going to enroll both of us in school. My sister, she was 15 at the time, so she was able to go get a job. So she started working at Kentucky Kingdom. She had been working, I had been making money, so we were just kind of like saving money. And then we came out with a different plan, which was to run back to South Bend, where we knew we had family at. My first baby that I had was when I was 19, and he was actually a stillbirth. And so it was complications or whatever, and I was actually told by a doctor then that I wouldn't be able to have kids. Ended up having my first kid unplanned because I didn't think I could have any, and I was 26. I was pregnant soon after he was born. He was actually born with spina bifida. I find myself losing a lot of people around me because my priorities and my focus shifted. I had a baby who had major surgeries, and I had to do a lot of therapy and a lot of appointments, and you find out who your friends are when you go through something real, and I didn't have really many at all. And so it's just me and my 2 boys, and a couple of years later ended up having another one that had 3 in diapers at one time because 2 of them are babies. The last 2 ones who are back to back, they were babies, and then I had the one that had spina bifida, so there's bowel and bladder issues. 3 kids at one time in diapers. Abortion for me, it was a thought. Like when I first found out I was pregnant with my daughter, that was one of the first things that I thought of, because I had finally reached a place in my life where I was mastering being a single mom. I was happy, I was content. I started an organization about 5 years ago, and I specialize in troubled youth and women. I was not in a relationship. It was literally a slip up. And first thing I thought of, I was mad at myself. First thing I did was apologize to God. You know, like, I'm so sorry, I feel like I let him down. But the second thing I thought of was the girls in my organization. I'm thinking, oh my God, how am I going to tell these girls to honor your worth and to do this and do that when I just popped up pregnant, unexpectedly, unplanned, still not married. So the first thing I thought about was abortion. The thought didn't last that long because I have a close relationship with God. So the first thing that I did was I prayed, and I broke down to God and was just like, you know, I am so sorry, you know, and it was a lot. I'm thinking in my mind, I finally got my kids out of poverty, out of the hood, but now I'm having to start over with a brand new baby who's going to need everything, and I don't have any extras at all. I was at a WIC breastfeeding class, and there was a bunch of people talking there, and they were talking about just all the resources that they were using, and somebody mentioned RETA. I'm like, well, what do they do? They're like, oh, well, you know, you get parenting classes, they have diapers, they have clothes, they have pretty much, you know, anything we would need to prepare for a baby. Going into my first appointment with RETA, I didn't really know what to expect. I came with an open mind. In my first appointment, I filled out a little small quick packet, and I wasn't expecting for it to be as personable as it is. You know, it was a one-on-one, so that was different, and it was very personal. They cared about what I needed versus just giving a weekly group parenting session that I might already be a master at just to get diapers. It was actually something that they focused in on what my parental needs were. I met with Joni and kind of took it from there. It's kind of like building a relationship with someone who's really concerned about what it is that you need and how can they help you. They always pray after every session or whatever, and I've learned a lot as far as like, I mean, like, I'm a mother of 5 now, but then a mother of 4, and we still don't know it all. I've learned, like I said, temperament, bonding with your baby. They actually did a pretty good job on prepping me for labor, because we all know once you start getting closer to your delivery date, it starts to get pretty scary and intense. But with the RETA, I was able to prepare a little bit better for that, because I watched a few videos on that, and then I was also able to create like a labor plan. So it was soothing just to know that, you know, I had somebody that was concerned about what my concerns were. RETA is deeper than just a resource for me. It's definitely a resource. It's a strong resource, but it's more like they my family now. I don't have a mom. A lot of times, you know, you can go to your mom. Joni's not old enough to be my mom, but she's a few years older than me, and I look up to her a lot. And she's my friend. Joni's my friend. Joni's like my sister. She could be like my mom. I look forward to our sessions, and it actually is able to bring me peace even the day before, because I know if I look on my schedule, which I don't usually have to, I remember these appointments by heart. I look forward the day before, I'm at peace, because I know whatever's going on today, whatever happened yesterday, I have an appointment with God's people tomorrow. And I know that I'll get prayer. I know that I'll be able to get diapers or whatever it is that I need. I know that I'm going to get it walking out of RETA.